We barely had time to catch our breath after SpaceX's mind-blowing Flight 5, and guess what? That was just the warm-up. SpaceX is already making waves for Flight 6, and trust me, it's not the multiverse mess we got from the Marvel folks. Nope, this is the real deal, the ultimate reality show, and SpaceX is the star pulling off jaw-dropping feats every month. With the hot staging ring successfully recovered, and reusability now go, 2024 could end with an out-of-this-world bang. So buckle up as we blast off into the details of Flight 6 in today's episode. Recently, there were uncertainties if Flight 6 would depart by the end of the year, mostly because of the delays impacting Flight 5. We are eagerly looking forward to the possibility of the fourth Starship launch in 2024. Before making any assumptions, let's examine some intriguing data from Flight 5. SpaceX recently published amazing images of the retrieval of Booster 12's hot staging ring from the Gulf of Mexico. Why is this issue so important? This marks the first time SpaceX has been able to recover an entire booster intact. Indeed, in past flights, there were cases of lost items such as socks in a washing machine, but what about now? All items made it back home, but the ring had been steamed in the sauna by the hot engines. However, it signifies a major triumph for SpaceX's engineering staff. The primary highlight is coming up next. Flight 6 is starting to power up. After the successful Flight 5, SpaceX promptly transferred Booster 13 by October 21st. After Booster 12 returned to base a few days earlier, they quickly shifted their focus. Booster 13 entered Mega Bay confidently and was on its way to the launch site by the morning of October 22nd, carefully placed in the chopstick arms. SpaceX teased us with a couple of images in the caption. Flight 6 Super Heavy booster moved to the Starbase pad for testing. Planned road closures suggest that testing is near, indicating that there will be more rocket launches. The development at Starbase is advancing quickly, and the efficiency in setting up the launch pad is remarkably impressive. Flight 5 suffered no major damage after the launch attempt failed. Right after the deployment of Booster 12, SpaceX carried out initial evaluations on the chopstick arms and checked the stability of the bumpers and landing rails, all of which seemed to be stable. The booster stabilizer pins were also returned on the orbital launch mount. Moreover, road closures were planned from 6 p.m. to midnight on October 23rd, with backup dates on October 24th and 25th showing the severity of the situation. SpaceX is advancing quickly through its objectives, mirroring a high-speed space-related challenge, and Booster 13 is on track to finish its static fire test by the end of the month. Upon finishing the task, both parts of the Flight 6 hardware will have passed their tests. Starship 31 has been busy completing cryogenic tests and a successful static fire at Massey in September. Elon Musk stated that Flight 6 is ready and requires the FAA's approval. If Booster 13 cooperates, integration tests might happen in November, but currently all efforts are concentrated on keeping track of the booster's progress. Undoubtedly, there are some delays with the intricate engineering and logistics. In particular, Booster 13 and Starship 31 will be subjected to thorough testing. SpaceX plans to closely watch the engine system of Booster 13 to avoid warping issues, especially as they plan to catch it with the Mechazilla arm, like in Flight 5. Furthermore, they must deal with those hot staging configurations. These inspections are vital because Booster 13 is expected to land successfully on Mechazilla during its next flight. However, Starship 31 is also not out of danger at this point. The engines will be tested for landing, and the heat shield and flap systems will be fully inspected. A fascinating detail is that Ship 31 retains some of its original heat shield tiles, which means SpaceX could potentially upgrade it like Ship 30 to guarantee a smooth landing. At this pace, cross out your calendars for late November or early December. With Flight 5 successful without effort, the FAA won't be the boring, meddling bureaucrats this time either. It's quite possible for a November 23rd launch because it would serve as an excellent birthday gift for SpaceX President Gwynne Shotwell, who has been instrumental in the company's successes. Do you have any personal predictions? Do you share them in the comments section located below as we discuss timelines? Let's delve into the potential schedule for Flight 6. Should this launch be successful, SpaceX will surpass its record for the most Starship launches in a year. Flight 5 has already surpassed last year's total, and if Flight 6 succeeds, it will have doubled by 2024. If Flight 6 departs within the previous 2 months of the year, there will be a gap of around 2 months between flights, which is quite substantial. It may surpass the existing record between Flights 3 and 4, which stood at 2 months and 23 days. SpaceX is preparing for another try to capture the Super Heavy booster with the Mechazilla arm. If they can accomplish this, they will be one step closer to mastering this unpredictable technology. They must adjust to prevent accidents, such as the minor fire during the previous landing try. Unfortunately, we won't witness a Starship catch on this occasion. Elon Musk predicts it will likely come next year. However, do not be concerned. The decision to land Starship in the ocean again is not just for entertainment purposes. SpaceX plans to utilize it to improve its accuracy and dependability. Considering that Starship 30 accomplished a successful vertical landing in Flight 5, they are headed in the right direction. And we must also remember the heat shield. Changes will be essential to safeguard the flaps during re-entry and landing. All the knowledge gained from Starship 30 of Flight 5 will assist SpaceX in enhancing these systems. Flight 6 marks a significant milestone in SpaceX's overall strategies. Within the next 2 years, our goals include achieving full mastery of Starship landings, establishing an orbital refueling system, conducting tests on the Starship human landing system, and preparing for missions to the Moon and Mars. Exciting times to come. A single flight to wrap up the year might open the door to major milestones ahead. Before we get too focused on the future, let's redirect our focus to the primary occasion, Flight 6. If this launch happens before 2024, SpaceX will achieve groundbreaking milestones. Flight 5 has exceeded the total Starship launches in 2023, so another flight would result in doubling their progress within just a year. Moreover, time between launches decreasing. If Flight 6 happens in late November, there will be a gap of 2 months, exceeding the previous record of just over 2 months between Flights 3 and 4. Nevertheless, Flight 6 is more than just an average day at the rocket park. It serves as a vital component in SpaceX's overall plan for space exploration. Competition in the space industry is at its peak with the participation of SpaceX, ULA, and Blue Origin. At first, we thought the competition involved SpaceX's Starship Flight 5, ULA's Vulcan Cert 2, and Blue Origin's New Glenn 1. Plans for Starship Flight 6, Vulcan 1, and New Glenn 1 are being developed. Blue Origin's upcoming New Glenn launch in November aims for ambitious objectives. Their goal is to deploy the Blue Ring payload and safely return the booster to land on a drone ship. Nonetheless, Blue Origin is met with a major obstacle as SpaceX accomplished the feat of catching a Super Heavy using their Mechazilla arm. Meanwhile, ULA is not sitting idle. After facing some obstacles with their Cert 2 project, they have received official clearance for national security launches and are ready to deploy Vulcan for the Space Force. The stacking operations for the USSF 106 mission have commenced, signaling the beginning of Vulcan's third mission. With their backlog experiencing delays, ULA is now in a hurry to carry out these launches and keep pace with SpaceX and Blue Origin regarding competitiveness. What an epic showdown we're witnessing among these three titans of the space industry. As the drama unfolds right before our eyes, it's clear that SpaceX is holding all the cards. With 5 successful Starship flights already under its belt, the company flexes its muscles while New Glenn and Vulcan are still warming up for their first and third outings, respectively. As we gear up for Flight 6, it's not just about rockets. It's a thrilling race toward the stars where SpaceX has bravely tackled the toughest challenges the industry can throw at them. Who will rise to the occasion next? Stay tuned because the best is yet to come.